Istanbul is Turkey's largest city. It's the heart of Turkey's business and cultural life. The country's largest port and home to more than 12 million people. Byzantium had a superb location on the Bosphorus, the broad strait that connects the Black Sea with the Sea of Marmara and the Aegean. Roman Emperor Constantine I chose Byzantium as his new imperial capital. He ordered his builders to construct a great city of wide boulevards, spacious public squares and grand palaces. It was designated as the New Rome in 330 AD and named after him, Constantinople. 2 centuries later, in 537 AD, Emperor Justinian the Great inaugurated his greatest building project, the Church of the Holy Wisdom, or Hagia Sophia. Set on a hill overlooking the Bosphorus, right where the pagan temple of Byzantium once stood, the great church was the largest and most magnificent building in the entire world at the time. The Byzantine Church of the Holy Saviour in Kora, built in the 11th century, is very different. A small, beautifully decorated church that was built as the centre of a monastic complex. Located near the city's massive land walls, it boasts the finest Byzantine mosaics in the entire region. The frescoes in the Paracelsian chapel were the product of a new Byzantine art movement, which paralleled the Italian Renaissance. The church is now a museum. Near Hagia Sophia was the city's hippodrome, a place for public games, tournaments, chariot races and special events. Along its spina, or central dividing line, are the great relics of the past. An Egyptian granite obelisk brought by ship from the Nile. A bronze serpentine column, once topped by 3 serpent heads. The column of Constantine, which in Byzantine times was covered in plates of gleaming bronze. The armies of Sultan Mehmet II conquered the imperial city in 1453, putting an end to the Byzantine Empire. The Ottoman sultans beautified their new capital, constructing great buildings that rivaled those of the Byzantines. The Blue Mosque, built by Sultan Ahmet I in 1616, was set next to Hagia Sophia so that people could compare the 2 artistic achievements. The Sultan endowed his great imperial mosque with many other buildings to serve the people. Fountains, a health clinic, a soup kitchen for the poor, a Turkish bath, a theological seminary, living quarters, shops and storehouses. Topkapi Palace, known as the Seraglio to Europeans, was the home of the imperial family and the centre of the empire's government. Constructed between 1465 and 1478, it was expanded and modified dozens of times over the next 4 centuries. It is a beautiful, livable place of gardens, pavilions and sumptuous royal chambers. Many of them are decorated with priceless Turkish tiles. The most popular section of Topkapi is the Imperial Harem, legendary for its luxury, romance and intrigue. Mozart wrote his famous opera, The Abduction from the Seraglio, about it, and many other artists have let their imaginations fly with visions of what went on there. Located on major trade routes, Istanbul has always been an important commercial city. The Grand Bazaar, with its 4,000 shops, is among the world's most fascinating markets. It's truly a small city in itself. Nearby on the Golden Horn is the Egyptian or Spice Bazaar, known in Ottoman times as the place to buy exotic spices and herbs to be used in cooking or as traditional medicines. Crowning a hill overlooking the city is the Süleymaniye, or Mosque of Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent, the largest of Turkey's imperial mosques. Built for the empire's greatest sultan, it is the masterwork of Mimar Sinan, Turkey's greatest architect.